spinning underneath us and all kinds of other cool stuff. I'll just line that up. Okay, heading indicators set. We're going to set our altimeter for Debert of 130 feet, roughly there. We'll get an altimeter setting from them shortly on the radio. We're not using autopilot today, so I'm not checking it out. Turn it static is good. Fuel selector is going over to the left tank. Here, we're going to lean that for taxi. I'm going to make a call. Debert Unicom, Alpha Uniform X-ray request from radio check field advisory.
Alpha Uniform X-ray radio is 5x5, wind 020 at 10. Antenna 30.25. What aircraft in the circuit on 05 and when are they in the area?
Roger, thank you very much, Alpha Uniform X-ray. So 3025, we got a little window here. 3025 is right in the middle.
Okay.
And that matches, it gels with our fuel.
We'll be turning to head on route tail effect.
Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to taxi over to like a vacant area on the ramp. Okay. And we're going to do a run-up where we test all the systems, make sure the airplane's working properly, okay? Alpha Uniform X-ray is going to be taxiing on the ramp for a run-up. I'm going to take off the parking brake. I'm going to release the brakes for a second, just going to test them so the brakes are working. We know we're good to go. And we'll start taxiing forward. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over to an area where we can taxi into the wind. So the wind was 020. We want to face into the wind on our heading indicator.
So basically just out to south.
Yep. And we're straightening the nose wheel and making sure there's nobody behind us because we're going to be putting some front blast away very shortly.
05 and turning back into the circuit.
Okay, so our run-up checklist. Position, we're clear, safe, and into the wind.
We'll be
nose wheel is straight, brakes are set. We're going to put the parking brake on as well just to make sure we have extra braking power. Oil and temperature are both in the green. Fuel selector goes over to the both tanks. Here goes full rich, and fuel quantity gauge, we're looking good. We got about 3/4 tanks on both. We've dipped them, we got 38 gallons. Throttle is going up to 1,800 RPM. So I'm bringing up engine power here, holding the brakes, making sure that we're not moving. Everything's nice and clear here. The engine seems to be running pretty smoothly. Check the oil and temperature and pressure again. The temperature's coming up now and pressure is still green. Suction gauge, which controls our vacuum pump, that is also in the green. Ammeter is 0 or charging, which is good. It means we're not draining our battery, so the alternator's working. But about a 100 RPM drop when I use the, check the left mag, back to both, then I go to right. About the same, so they're within this range. So that means if our engine, if our power dies, the mags will keep the engine running, so we won't actually end up losing the engine. Annunciator panels here, it's like our warning panel. It's extinguished and all the bulbs are working, so we know that's good to go. Throttle back to idle. The engine is still running. It's not going to cut out on us if we go idle. Friction lock is good. 1,000. Okay. So now we've done the run-up. The airplane's performing as it's supposed to.
Yeah.
All we got to do now is we're going to taxi out to the runway.
Okay.
And we'll take off, all right?
Roger.
Roger. All right, so you're going to release the parking brake. If you want to pull that towards you, turn it left and push it back in.
Turn it left?
Pull it, turn it, and push it in. There you go. I felt the brake pressure release there. Alpha is going to taxi Bravo and hold true 05. There's an aircraft there on approach. We're going to make sure that we're holding short for them. While I'm taxiing here,
Delta Hotel, turning final, runway 05, touch and go.
I'll be checking my instruments, making sure that they're working all right. We'll taxi right down the yellow line.
So that's we could just hear on the...
Yeah, that's the one that said turning final for 05. Exactly. Off. Yeah. One with the sun. We will, once we're able to have a lot of air blowing over the plane with the vents, will get us a lot of fresh air.
Yeah.
The hold short line ahead here. We're not going to cross that line until everything is clear and we're ready for takeoff, so we'll do our hold short check just before the line here. There's Echo Delta Hotel on final. Watch their landing and see how they do.
Flare.
So remember, part of this runway is displaced. That's why they're landing so far down.
Yeah.
There they go. They did pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, so our engine briefing, takeoff briefing is we're going to taxi on to 05. We're going to be taking off that direction.
Right.
If we have an engine failure on the runway, we're going to retard the throttle and stop.
Yeah.
If we're airborne but below 1,000 feet, we're going to maintain directional control, fly straight ahead, pitch for best glide and head for a field.
Okay.
Making gentle turns as necessary to avoid obstacles.
Okay.
If we're airborne 1,000 feet or above, we'll be able to turn around and head back to the field. Our abort point will be from the start of 05. If we're not airborne by the time we pass the school building, we're going to abort our takeoff. Seatbelt is good. You locked in. Place. Okay. Seatbelt secure. Cabin doors closed and locked. Flight controls free and correct. Watch your knees. That happens to me all the time. Rudder pedals are good, so nothing hanging up the controls. Set our DG is set. That looks like south. And double check that. I'll put the heading bug on for runway 05. Alright, and so other flight is we're going to start check. Radios, we've already set those. Fuel gauge, we're still looking good there. Annunciator panel is extinguished. From 2000. Friction lock's good. Mixture is full rich. Fuel selector valve is on both. Trim is set for takeoff. Flaps are set for takeoff. Autopilot is off. Switches. We're going to add a strobe light so people can see us. Pitot heat is not required. Transponder goes on to altitude and changing. Windsock we can see is good for 05. Traffic, we know they're in the downwind. We're good to go. The only thing I need to do is report the time. What is the time?
Time is...
Do you have a watch or anything? My watch in my pocket. I always have it on me, and the cable just came out of the thing. Yeah. So if you want to just give me the time.
the time is...
14:53. And you want to just grab that cable, I'll stick it back in, okay? Yep. Got it. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Traffic, X-ray is going to taxi on to 05 for immediate takeoff. You see the X's here? That's where the this part of the runway is not usable.
Right.
across that line. I'm going to give her power, and we're going to go.
Off we go. Are you ready, fucker? Yeah. Totally. Woo.
Here we go. Machinery, takeoff power achieved. Airspeed's alive.
Bravo, Unicom here, go ahead.
And
Roger, please.
Oh, so quick.
Wind 020 at 9, gust 16. Altimeter 30.24. One aircraft just started 05, and there's a couple others in the area.
Roger.
Traffic, Echo Delta Hotel, final, runway 05, full stop.
Airport X-ray 0.05, we're going to be coming circuit 8 and making departure to the west. That's what they mean about the little monkey?
Yeah, you can feel that.
Bravo.
Is about 5 nautical miles to the northeast of Truro, 2,500 feet. Inbound from Trenton. We'll be crossing midfield to join the left downwind 05.
Through the circuit, we're going to be climbing up to 3,000 feet, turning left or westbound for Great Village.
And Departure Unicom, Cherokee Golf, November Golf X-ray.
November Golf X-ray, Unicom here, go ahead.
November Golf X-ray, just requesting field advisory and radio check, please.
Is 5x5, wind 020 at 9, gust 0.24. We do have quite a few aircraft in the area.
Golf X-ray, thank you.
Average Unicom, Tango Delta India, requesting weekend advisory.
Delta India radio is 5x5, wind 020 at 9, gust 16, varying 0 and 090. Altimeter 30.24, and we do have multiple aircraft in the area.
I'll be with you in a second here.
No worries.
We're going to level off at 2,500 feet.
All right.
Just for now.
Altimeter 30.24.
Have you got your air vents here? You can open those and get yourself some fresh air, because it is getting...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's nice. That was bumpy.
Yeah, oh, that was mild, believe me.
Really?
Yeah.
Traffic, Echo Delta Hotel is clear of runway 05.
You can see over your shoulder there to the airport.
Yeah.
As we're about 5 miles out, we'll switch over to Halifax Terminal.
Right.
And we'll be on our way.
Cool, super cool.
Yeah.
Number traffic, Charlie November Bravo is at 2,400 feet, starting to descend to circuit altitude approximately 4 nautical miles to the east of the field, planning on crossing midfield 05 to join the left downwind for a full stop.
Uniform X-ray is clear the zone to the west of 2,500, but we can switch over to Halifax Terminal. Halifax Terminal, this is Foxtrot Alpha Uniform X-ray.
Foxtrot Alpha Uniform X-ray, Halifax. Terminal squawk at Intel, altimeter 3018 in Halifax.
3018 Alpha Uniform X-ray.
X-ray Victor Uniform, what are your intentions in Halifax?
X-ray Victor Uniform, we looking to do a stop and go at CYZ.
X-ray Victor Uniform, roger. Descent at your discretion. When you start your descent, contact Halifax Tower 1184.
Roger, X-ray Victor Uniform, contacting tower at 118.4.
Alpha Uniform X-rays identified, 2,400.
Now we're going to climb up. Maybe it'll be smoother up here.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, good. Good.
Then once we level off, I'll give you the controls, okay?
Okay, how high are we going?
We'll go up to like 4,500 feet for starters.
Right.
Should be typically pretty smooth up there.
Yeah.
Especially as we go these hills coming up, there's a lot of mechanical turbulence that's created when the wind hits them and kind of spirals up into the air. So the higher we are, the more clear we'll be of that.
Yeah. So now we're heading for...
We're heading up towards Brompton, actually.
Brompton.
Yeah.
Okay.
$3,500, so we'll go up another 1,000.
So when you're on the controls, you're using visual horizon.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at I'm looking at that as well, but primarily daytime VFR format, you're looking outside.
Yeah. Obviously, when you're level off, it's easy to see.
And you get used to what that's supposed to look like. So it's smooth out. You can feel the air smooth out a lot here.
And you've seen this is completely... Yeah.
Yeah, she's nice and smooth up here. It's like glass.
Yeah.
And we've got I'm pitching right now for best rate of climb, which is 74 knots.
74.
I'm holding that, and that's giving us our maximum amount of climb in the shortest time. Right now, we're getting about 600 feet per minute, based on our weight and temperature and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
If you were alone, you might get 800 or 1,000 feet per minute. It's just we got a lot more weight on board.
Yeah.
Pieces of fucking meat. So we're coming up to 4,500, so now I'm just going to gently lower the nose, like this. To our, what we call a cruise attitude. And we don't need to be using full power if we're not climbing. I'm just going to bring the power back a little bit.
About 90 knots.
Yeah, our speed's going to pick up shortly when once the nose is down and we level off here. And what I can do is I can use the trim wheel here.
Yeah.
To add slight adjustments so that if I get it nice and perfect, I let go and the plane just stays level, right?
Yeah.
The way we transfer control is, I would say to you, you have control. Put your hands on the controls. Once you say, I have control, so take a minute, get comfortable, that's when I'll let go. And then when you transfer back and you say, you have control to me, wait until I say, I have control back, and then you can relax and let go, okay?
Okay.
So, you have control.
Okay.
And let go. There you go.
I was just saying if I was relaxed.
Okay. So I let go prematurely. That's okay. I have total faith in you. I'm not too worried. So just try it. Just try and keep this kind of straight and level here, okay?
I mean, I know. I've got it like you. Just those little...
It's very small, right? Very small
adjustments. And you can just see from each side here. Now we're just moving my eyeballs.
That's okay. Today we got very good visibility. So you can actually see Prince Edward Island over there. And that's the Northumberland Strait. That's the bay I was telling you about earlier. And Moncton's dead ahead, and the bay where the people live is that big open water area. So you can kind of see from here that map picture that we had on the ground. It's quite visible, right? Give it a little bit of a bank to the left. Let's head towards the open water, that big patch of water over there, okay? Alright. Yeah, you're doing great.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Alpha Uniform X-ray, contact Mountain Center, 124.4.
Contacting center on 124.4. Thank you, Alpha Uniform X-ray.
Nice, tight.
Mountain Center, this is Cessna Foxtrot Alpha Uniform X-ray.
Charlie Golf, Mike Foxtrot, Mountain Center, good day, you're identified. Climb to 5,000 and proceed direct to Charlotte Airport.
City climb 5,000, then proceed directly to Charlottetown Airport. Mike Foxtrot, or Mike Foxtrot, Charlie Crush.
Mountain Center, this is Cessna Foxtrot Alpha Uniform X-ray.
Charlie Fox, Alpha Uniform X-ray, Moncton Center, roger. Moncton altimeter 3025, Ada India.
3025 in India, Alpha Uniform X-ray, thank you. So now we're on with air traffic control from Moncton. Moncton Center are the same people that talk to all the like oceanic flights and all that sort of stuff. Like your flight would have been talking to them when you came in to land in Halifax. But we're on the low level controllers, so they're like below 18,000 feet.
Okay.
They're not so busy. So notice we're climbing slightly.
Yeah.
So if you want to do something about that, just push the nose forward and see what happens. Feel free to experiment. We're not stuck at an altitude here legally.
Yeah.
We're not like under control of center. So they're just monitoring us, giving us something called flight following, where they just will tell us if there's any traffic in our way.
Yeah.
We don't have to follow a specific path or altitude. So we can do what we want.
Right. You have to, every time you release pressure, it climbs slightly.
Yeah, so when we can do that, here, try and hold the wings, take your right hand onto this trim up, and so push it forward slightly. Feel that it will retrim the airplane slightly. If there's a slight climb, it'll take that away and fix it. Now we're in a slight descent, so you can just kind of trim it upwards. Very sensitive.
Yeah.
So typically how you do that is you find cruise attitude with your pitch, and then you trim until that pressure disappears. Something around there looks pretty good for altitude to be level. There's a slight climb on, so I'm going to pitch down and then just do that. That's pretty much bang on there.
I noticed we've gone
So
slightly.
so let's turn to the left here. We're going to go a little bit more that direction. You can even see there's like the bay, and then there's another body of water beyond it, and it seems like it ends. That's the river that goes into Moncton. That's where we want to head.
Right.
So a little bit more left. Yep.
I want this sort of there.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Too easy, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, there's nothing you can run into, right? There's no curbs, there's no parked cars, nothing like that.
Yeah.
As long as you're, I mean, there's a lot of finer points and fine tuning.
Of course, yeah.
But for your basic controls, it's pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
Can I show you something?
Yeah, sure.
I have control.
You have control.
Okay. You can be a little bit more, you don't have to be so timid on the control. And you can push down a little, feel your gut go there. Up a little bit. So feel free. Feel control.
5 miles,
Feel free to experiment a little bit.
So that's, we'll try to contact Mike Foxtrot.
As long as you're heading in that general direction, you can do kind of what you want here. That's the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Oh I'll show you, once we get over that bay,
Right.
we're going to go down low to my friend's house,
Right.
then we'll go up high and I'll show you some of the fun maneuvers and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. So I can like basically play around here.
Yeah, go for it.
And
You're not bound by any sort of restrictions here.
yeah. And then
To pilot.
yeah. That's kind of cool. Choo. Yeah. Had a bit of nerves there.
Yeah, I know. Don't be nervous. That's all.
No. Yeah, I get you.
Remember when we filled up for gas, there was a big wind farm? You can see it over there, just at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Now we're going over some hills.
Okay.
So that's mechanical turbulence going on. So it's not going to hurt us at all.
Yeah.
It's just if it upsets us, just fix it. If it makes one ring, just kind of go the other way. But on a scale of 1 to 10, that's a 1. Maybe a 0.5 as far as like bumpiness goes.
Yeah.
Nothing to be worried about.
No. And that's basically just because we're going over the hills.
Yeah. So the wind hits the hills and then it pushes it up in these kind of rotary wind things. God, my brain.
Quebec 10 medevac, contact Moncton on 132.7. 327, Quebec 10 medevac. Thank you very much. So long. Good day.
And that was okay. So down there, that was that the hills you had on the map, or is that further away?
Part of it, yeah. They're generally running in that direction to kind of behind us to the east. So this over here, this is a town, Spring Hill, which we passed on the highway. The highway is over there, that big line. But we didn't actually see it, but the exit we saw for it. That's where Anne Murray, that said the St. Mary's from. There's also a penitentiary down there, which is it's got a restricted airspace over it, but only up to, I'd have to check my VNC.
Okay.
We're way higher, so we could fly over, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
If we were flying over it at like 500 feet,
Yeah.
they'd probably think we're trying to drop like supplies to prisoners or something like that.
This is fun.
Yeah, especially like cross-country flying, going from one place to the other is a lot of fun. You get to see different things.
Yeah.
It's quite relaxing because once you're set up, you're not going to do too much.
Oh.
Whereas like when we're doing lessons, it's constantly like practicing things and practicing things. So I don't get to just go places so often, right?
Actually,
Mike Foxtrot Charlie, that previously mentioned traffic set at 9 o'clock, 4 miles southeastbound, 500 feet below you.
as we took off, I was thinking, oh my God, I can control this thing. I had a bit of a sweat on, but now that's all gone. Yeah. That was the only part where I was kind of like, woo! But it was fun.
Well, it's a brand new experience, right?
Yeah. So your friend's house is like
just after 12 o'clock actually, where the mouth of the river is. So like there's the bay and then there's a piece of land that juts out.
All right.
And then there's the bay beyond it.
Yeah.
It's just at the mouth of that.
Yeah. We're going there for a barbecue later.
We're going there for a barbecue later.
That beer's going to taste fantastic.
I know. And you're going to be wanting to do this again.
Oh, already, yeah.
Next time you come, you'll have all these ideas about, okay, now I know what to expect, you can relax a little more.
Yeah. The drink's going to get really hurt, but that's alright, you know.
Well, you ain't seen nothing yet, I'll say that.
Yeah.
So this is the exact model of airplane I did my training in as a student.
Right.
Not this plane, but this model. And I did a lot of night. I did a lot of like...
Sunwing 239, Moncton, good day. Moncton altimeter 3023. Correction, 3025, 8 is in here. Sunwing 239, roger, clear down as Zulu, runway 06, Vac Acid. Roger.
I did a lot of like...
Charlie changed my frequency to 565.
So...
13565, Mike Charlie.
I was alone for all these cross-country flights, and most of them were at night.
Yeah.
And at night, this is just black.
Yeah.
The water's black, the floor is black, you don't know what's what.
Yeah. Mike Charlie, 13565.
Fox Charlie, roger. The Charlottetown altimeter when you need it, 3026.
It was beautiful, clear.
Oh yeah. It gets more clear than this even. This is a little hazy. There are days when it's just blue and you can see like 3-4 miles.
Get that GoPro's still plugged in, yeah. What a bumper thing. After it's not recorded.
Well, the plug came out at one point.
Yeah.
And we got, apparently, the guy was telling me it records in segments, so like it doesn't make one big file.
Right.
It'll make like 6 or 10 minute chunks.
Right.
So you don't have to deal with massive files.
Right.
Gotta watch your altitude there, buddy. I'm just razzing you.
Yeah.
You're doing great. Like it's nice and easy, right?
Yeah, really. But I'm not doing a lot with it, but I'm happy not doing a lot. I mean, yeah, that's great, like doing those little turns is fun. I don't know. It's just fun.
Oh yeah. That's what it's all about. And that's sometimes I gotta remind myself because there are times when it's work and it's
Yeah.
you know, it's like, oh god, I gotta go with a student and they just can't get it. And we're really trying hard and it's just like, oh man.
Yeah.
And then I gotta pinch myself and say, look at the view and
Yeah. Well, that's something I keep forgetting about a little bit because I'm on this a lot. On these two things, and I forget actually just looking over there. It's just, yeah, it's great. And I miss the prison.
So there's Amherst. That's where we stopped for gas earlier. There's the wind farm. So Trans-Canada just goes straight through. There's Sackville where that big white box is.
Yeah.
And beyond is Moncton. So, like, as the crow flies, it's not very far.
Yeah.
We're
Sunwing 239, contact tower, 1.
the fight. The headwind is not right now as well.
Yeah.
So our ground speed is probably 20 knots slower than what it's.
Right.
We're getting quite close. You can see the river mouth.
Yeah.
At the end of the river, there's Moncton.
Right.
Their house is really just, you can see where there's kind of an offshoot to the river.
Yeah.
And then just in front there's a bump.
Yeah.
That's where the house is. So we're going to descend down shortly and check it out.
Right.
And then Hopewell Rocks, that provincial park is just across the way. So we'll tour at pretty low level down around there. Then we might do some upper air work here, then fuck off over to Charlottetown, not Charlottetown, but the Prince Edward Island Bridge, and then go back. So all in all, it's, it'll be 2.5 hours probably.
Yeah.
We've been up for well, we started the engine. No, we took off at 14:53. So what's the time now? It's 15:18. So
21 minutes.
30 odd minutes, yeah.
30 minutes.
35 minutes.
Okay. went quick.
Yeah, it does, man.